right, so you're not here mentally?
Yeah.
Where are you mentally?
In other places.
Oh, okay. Are those other places fun?
No, they're not fun.
Yeah.
They're not fun.
So you're in a dark place, bad stuff at work?
Yeah. Just in a couple of fronts.
He's in the email enchanted forest.
Yeah, there's just
There's
some
no way out.
crazy shit going on in my work
Yeah.
and just other things that all culminated in one day that just equals.
Well, isn't it like celebrity deaths? It all comes in threes, right? It's like works like a celebrity. It's true.
It's not a death, thankfully.
Yeah, but it's just
yeah.
along those lines. Yeah.
So
it's just-
Scott's life is celebrity death. And he just hope he doesn't have 3 of them today.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so if you have 2, right now, 2 bad things, there's one more bad thing, according to Ted.
Well, we'll see.
All right, so here's the thing. I just want to set the record straight because I get some feedback from some listeners. I'm not actively trying to get fired from Dick's. I'm not actively trying to get fired, okay?
Right.
But I thought I got fired today.
Really? Like
Yes.
how close? Like what was the tell?
Okay, so
Yeah.
here's the thing. I'm doing my job, but
Yeah.
I'm really not doing it very well. Okay. I'm not putting much effort into it.
But
Okay.
could the same thing be said of the other people on the floor?
Well, yeah, but so here's the thing. So I'm doing my thing, and once again, the boss is just like we all have this little headphone thing. He goes, Matt's radio's not working," and I'm like, "My radio's working fine. Everything's working." And he goes, "I just haven't heard you." I didn't have anything to say.
I
just
chose not
announced
to
it.
respond.
Yeah, I just announced it, right?
have like a walkie-talkie?
So now I'm doing. Yeah, everybody's. Oh yeah, walk into a Dick's Sporting Goods. Everyone has the thing in their ear, and we're constantly communicating about nothing.
Right.
About absolutely nothing. The most meaningless, futile, and useless things are being said over that microphone.
So it's like a typical job, like us. You just create like an environment or a situation where you just pretend this is important, but in the scheme of things, it's really
It's not. You know
nothing
what
burger.
90% of it is.
Yeah.
There's kids in the store and they're upstairs and they're screaming.
okay.
Somebody go get them.
Right.
That is
What do you mean?
95% of what
go,
they say.
What do you mean go get them? Like hurt them like cattle?
Oh no, we
touch somebody else's kid?
As long
There's
as
a
it's
lot
not
to-
like one of these teen mobs that have been
Yeah,
invading
flash mob,
everything
yeah.
around.
No.
here.
Flash
We
mob,
have
yeah.
we have little pellet guns. We just shoot them with pellet guns. It's like
Sweet.
you can leave or don't leave, and before they get a chance to say we'll leave, we shoot them anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, just do it.
Or just tase 'em.
But okay, so here's the deal. My boss sends a little something over the little radio. It says, "Matt, make sure you punch out upstairs." I'm like, "I always punch out upstairs." Okay. She goes, "I have something for you," and I was like, "That's it. I'm getting fired." Yes. I'm like, "Got it. I didn't do anything. I'm just getting fired. This is gonna be great because then I can do this." What?
Well, that's a weird way to phrase it.
And then I was going to do this. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Thanks. Nope, didn't get fired. They gave me 2 discount cards. Yeah.
And a promotion.
Yeah. The absolute opposite of getting fired.
So it's like you're George Costanza from Seinfeld. You're doing the opposite, thinking you want to get fired, and they're actually promoting you. They're actually secretly promoting you.
I'm not, again, for those people that are like, "Why are you trying to get fired? That's a dick move." And I'm like, I'm a dick for other reasons. But I'm not trying to get fired. I just feel like it's got to happen soon.
Well, the D-Day's coming, right? When you
It's
have to
got-
take the
well-
June schedule and you decide to take every Sunday
That
off.
is tomorrow.
Oh, that's tomorrow. Okay.
Tomorrow,
so,
I am hitting up my July schedule, and I will take every Sunday and every Monday for our golf thing. Every Monday at 5. Yeah.
So do they make the schedule for you?
Yes.
And then you just have to accept it, or in your case, you're going to severely modify it.
No. So far they've been good. When I say I'm not working, they don't schedule me. So yeah, so far. But this next round will do it. Okay, I need to know if I'm a dick for this reason.
Okay. Yes.
So yesterday we were playing golf. Okay, me, Teddy, Mark, and Jackson. Okay.
Okay.
And now Ted, I'm going to tell you this. About 2 weeks ago, Ted bought me some Spotted Cow.
Right.
Okay.
Which is a beer.
Yeah, a beer. And I brought 4 of them to the golf course yesterday. 2 for me, 2 for Jack.
What course?
We just played tan.
Okay.
Yeah. And for some reason, on the 4th hole, Ted says to me, "Can I have one of your Spotted Cows?" Remember, I got 2 for me, 2 for Jack.
I didn't know that at the time. I just thought he had limited
But Ted
supply.
did get you the beers.
Right.
Okay.
I forgot
And
about that,
so-
but anyway.
and I said-
his beers now, so.
I said no.
That's actually kind of funny.
And then I pointed, because right down there, the cart girl was right there. I said, "There's the cart girl. If you want beer, by the way, that you never drink,
Right.
you can just get one there."
Yeah, you're not
Was
a big
I-
beer drinker,
Yeah.
are you, Teddy?
Well, it was a warm day, and I actually did have to wait a whole 5 minutes, but I did get the beer eventually, and then I think I bought Mark something too, so I ended up getting like a Coors Light or something. So it all
Yeah.
worked out.
But,
Yeah.
but the important thing was I a dick for not giving Ted a beer that he bought me?
Well, let's visit this for a second. Did you offer him a beer?
I did not.
No.
Okay.
Unsolicited,
Okay.
yeah.
So then,
Why would I offer him
Yeah.
something he doesn't drink?
well, so I would say Ted was taking a big chance of getting the stiff arm there because it wasn't offered. It wasn't obvious. Oh, you got 6 beers there. I'll stick one of those. It was the opposite of that. So, and the cart grill's always available at TAM. So,
Yeah.
right there.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, it didn't even cross my mind. I didn't invoke the, hey, I got those beers. I deserve one. I just asked because I just thought he had extra. And then he did say, oh, I only have 2 of them. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. This wasn't a big deal.
So the
I
real
just wanted
term,
to make sure I wasn't being a bad guy.
it depends though. One more time, how was his response? Was it like, I only got 2, sorry, or
Yeah, it was
fuck
just-
off, you don't drink beer?
No, I mean, he just said, I only got 2. I got 2 for me and 2 for my kid. I'm like,
You're
yeah, that's
not
cool.
allowed.
Yeah. So
You
he gave a reason,
not
like if he had like an 8-pack or something, or
Yeah.
a 12-pack, and I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, and there's gonna be like 10 beers left over. I'm like, can I just have one of those beers that you're not gonna drink anyway? And he
Okay,
goes, no.
okay.
And then I'd be like, all right, then.
Well, So
yeah.
no, you-
okay.
so
So
no, you
if I
weren't
had
a
a
big-
bunch and I took like I said here and I took a beer and I just threw it in the woods
yeah.
like over the fence and I was like, "There's your beer." Yeah, that would be a bad.
You ever
thing.
see the movie Rounders?
With Matt Damon?
Yeah, Matt Damon. So the Ed Norton character, he's in prison, and I guess he's obviously an expert card player, so he's playing against all the prisoners for cigarettes. So he wins all the cigarettes, and he takes it all, and he just dumps them in the trash, just so they can't have them. Yeah. So see, that was kind of funny.
Boy.
I feel like he threw away currency.
Yeah.
Well, I think he was just getting out at the time, but he could have given him back. But it was a dick's move.
A dick. There you go. That's why I work there because I am. All right. I was telling Teddy this, and I think I want to make this happen. I want to bring back your mother. Remember when we were kids and everything was your mother? Like, who ate the last pizza? Your mother. Right? Like, you always did that. You said that all the time. Did you guys do that in Michigan?
That was a thing when you were kids.
It
Yeah.
was a thing. I want to bring it back.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to bring it back. I'm just going to start doing it for everybody all the time. Like, anytime anybody says anything.
It's supposed to be like a burn, right? Like
Yeah,
your
it's like a
mother.
burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's pretty PG. It's just like, it doesn't even make any sense in the scheme of things, So
So it's, you know,
I don't understand what's the impetus for that.
I don't know. It's just I want to be cool. I want to have my own thing, and I feel like if I bring back your mother,
It's a
and then
weird
people
thing.
are just like, he did it. Like, I'm saying it now, everyone's going to hear it, and then when it comes back in like a year and everybody's saying it, I'm the guy who brought it
Yeah,
back.
that's a pretty feeble effort.
Speaking of bringing things back, I guess the guy who just bought the Pizza Hut chain, I don't know who it is, but I guess he's bringing back all the retro from the 1980s, and I guess the people love it. Remember Pizza Hut from like the 1980s, those checker tables and whatever the
Is that-
motif was. But yeah, but
people
apparently
want that?
people want that.
Are these the same people that go to Cracker Barrel and got mad when they changed it? Like,
Yeah.
we're going to have a different sign. Oh my God!
That was a big thing.
You're murdering babies. You're a baby
But,
murderer.
but you know what? They should have the foresight. I mean, like
my-
that's their identity. It takes a lifetime to build up a culture. It's like if Coca-Cola changed their can from red to like blue
They
or
did.
something.
You know, was that Pepsi? Who
Yeah.
changed? I think Pepsi changed their logo,
And they changed their
everybody lost their
and they
mind.
changed their formula, too, yeah.
That's what people have to worry about. They're just freaked out because they changed a can.
What was that? So a bunch of boomers are like retro here and they want to
I
go
didn't-
back
I
to the
didn't-
old place.
I didn't get the
don't know.
feedback, but I guess it's just it's just a retro style where I guess that what brings back a lot of nostalgia. Obviously, I've been to Pizza Hut back in the '80s. I think there's still a few around, not too many.
Not too many.
Not
Yeah.
too many.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? In smaller towns, it's very popular. In bigger towns, you can have a real pizza place. But in smaller towns, when it's just chain stuff, like you have a Domino's and Pizza Hut, I think that's still a thing.
The Pizza Hut's good, and they always have that salad bar that you can hit up a couple times. That was always a
they
bonus.
used to have a good salad bar, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
They should bring back Ponderosa or Sizzler.
I love that.
Ponderosa
What?
was good. No, or Ponderosa. There was a Ponderosa on
Yeah,
Lawrence
you know
and
why,
Austin.
Ted? Because-
Lawrence and Austin, man. Now
Yes.
it's all condos.
I used to go to those all the time.
Yeah, man, that was fun.
What kind of cut of meat you think your Ponderosa steak was?
It's the worst cut,
Like,
but you don't care because
seriously.
you're just
No,
hungry.
seriously.
You're hungry.
What cut of meat? What animal? First of all, what animal and what cut of meat do you think your Ponderosa steak came from?
It's probably
or
some.
your bonanza.
It's probably some caribou that passed away in a rice paddy field somewhere, and then when they retrieved the carcass about 2 weeks later, they
caribou in a rice paddy.
They reconstituted it.
What countries are you combining right now? I mean, a rice paddy and a caribou. You think there's caribou living near
No,
rice paddies?
whatever whatever is indigenous to something. Yeah, obviously a low quality grade meat. You're not getting a Ruth's Chris steak, but you know that going in there. It's
Yeah,
it's
and you like the pudding and the little
Yeah, it's just
side
all the other
moves and
stuff.
stuff
Pudding.
like that.
and just when you're hungry,
I forgot about the pudding.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, Ted, I'm in.
yeah, and then you and then-
Pudding was
and then-
freaking
and then
Your
you're-
awesome.
chocolate pudding. Oh my
yeah,
god!
and then you're putting the
Or the
A1
Jello with the whipped cream on.
yeah.
That was good shit too.
Yeah.
oh,
And then you're putting the A1 steak sauce in it anyway, so you're Irishing it up. So you don't even care because you're hungry. You just want to
Irishing
know.
it up.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
shit.
Oh my god!
Irishing it up.
Okay, and I don't know if this is even explainable, but summer is back, and if you guys have any clue, I need you to help me. what is with guys with really loud cars and motorcycles? We've never technically discussed. Oh, Scott, zip up your pants. Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah. That was just,
We've never really discussed
some air
this,
there.
but who are the people with loud cars trying to impress? Because if it's a guy, then why are they trying to impress guys? And can you imagine, like, what girl would you impress with a really loud car or motorcycle?
They're just in their own little world. I mean, it could be a case of, small man-itis, egoitis, where they just think in their mind that's kind of like a thing. Hey, look at me. I'm insignificant in the world, and now I have a car with a modified muffler on it, and so when I step on the gas pedal, it goes, roar, and, everyone gets kind of shocked for a second there. So it just could be, they're just doing it because, they're just trying to be relevant. In society.
It's a thing, and it's like when they let off the gas and it backfires.
Yeah.
Pow, 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 pow.
Oh man,
we heard that the other day at the golf course, right?
I
think it
actually
was loud.
jumped
It was
when
loud.
when it
Yeah.
popped the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
it was far away too.
it was really far away.
It's annoying as fuck. But
Yeah, I just don't understand it. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out who they're trying to impress.
It's they're buddies. They all have cars. I mean, just like when you used to have your car. At least me, I'd take it in the shop. I'd turn the air filter upside down and put a little piece of wood on it, clip it so that when you hit on it, it made some noise.
Why-
What is this?
You never
I've never
did
heard
that?
that before.
Oh, I never heard that one before.
You
yeah.
never.
Do you turn the
air filter on
The
your
round
car?
air filter.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay. It was a round filter,
Right.
And it had a top on it.
Yeah,
wing
screw on
nut.
top.
So and you would turn it upside down, so it wasn't a tight fit. There was like an inch gap all the way around, so that when you stepped on it, it made a cool sound.
I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know you could do that.
No way.
Yeah, maybe that's a Michigan thing. I don't know.
You're just finding that out for the first time at the age
I'm
of.
just gonna go with like not so much Michigan. It's just like hillbilly. Cause
Yeah,
really,
well,
'cause
there's
really,
something to that. It was a
yeah.
country squire with the simulated wood paneling on the
yeah,
side.
Love
you
it.
know.
Love it. Yeah.
a station wagon.
Oh, yeah,
So
station
you were
wagon.
driving around your folk station wagon?
My dad got it from Avis. It was
Squire.
a piece of shit, and it was the country squire.
Country Squire. Yeah.
Oh,
who made
my
who
God.
made that? Who made that?
It was, I think it was
Wow.
GM, maybe?
GM, yeah. Those things are
Ford,
cool,
maybe?
yeah.
And they had the two seats in the back that
Yeah.
faced
Oh, yeah.
each other,
Oh.
the suicide seats.
yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I saw a really nice Mercury Grand Marquis with a with a
Christ
cloth
almighty.
top. Those things are pretty. I mean, the newer ones, they're always like an old person driving, but those things are
I don't
pretty
think
sharp.
there are new ones.
And actually, no, they discontinued.
I think it's been
No, they
several
discontinued them. But the
years.
point is, that's actually like an
Discontinued
underrated.
'em.
That's an underrated nice car. That's an underrated
Well,
nice
no,
car.
it
Mercury Grand
discontinued
Marquis.
them, Scott. All the people that bought them died, and there just weren't enough old people to rebuy all the Grand Marquis.
Yeah, and you lost it. It was a really nice Grand Marquis.
Yeah, Grand Marquis.
Oh
yeah.
man! Well, that's probably that thing was probably bigger or nicer and safer than the AMC or the
Hornet,
what did I have?
Gremlin
Yeah,
Hornet,
the brown Hornet.
exploding gas tank.
Yeah.
yeah.
The problem was you could fit so many people into
Yeah.
it. That was always, and it was
So you were the guy driving
Yes,
everywhere.
yes, and I was the one that
Well,
got
the,
pulled
the
over.
trunk
and
space was like
went to jail.
huge.
And all
Yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
No.
Whoa!
Yeah,
what?
that's okay. That's another story.
all right.
Pulled over and God, you know what? That was the great thing about living in Chicago. The cops, if you didn't have any money to bribe them, okay, and if you didn't have any beer or anything they wanted, they really just like, all right, get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the odds of getting pulled over in Chicago, I mean, you'd have to do something really wrong, but like in a small town where you just kind of stand out and the cops have nothing better to do.
Yeah, we got
you're
super
you're
loud,
probably more
giant station wagon filled with asshole
And you're
teenagers.
going on an on-ramp at 50 miles an hour, and the whole car's basically on two tires, and you got a big bong in the back
Yeah.
seat. And,
That was a V8
Oh,
engine,
okay, so
right?
now
Yeah.
you're starting to add things that get you arrested.
Yes, I wasn't saying I was innocent, okay? It's
Okay.
just...
Nice.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go ahead and do this. This is the Real Three Idiots podcast, and today in history, in 1977, Star Wars was released.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, is that wild?
I guess there's a new Star Wars movie right now with like a baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Supposedly, I think I saw a trailer for it for like a hot
So
minute.
what year was it, Matt? 76?
1977.
Wow.
77,
It
okay.
cost $9.5 million to make.
Whoa.
And literally, they didn't think it was any good. It was only shown in 32 theaters across the country.
Yeah.
So this is the first one. What is it? Return of the Jedi?
No, just Star Wars.
Star Wars, just Star Wars.
Just
yeah.
Star
But
Wars.
I thought...
Harrison Ford.
No, Return of the Jedi was third.
So what was the very first one? What was the storyline?
It was just
That's where Princess
Leia, Princess Leia.
and Luke leaves the farm.
Mark Hamill
Yeah,
was-
let's just ruin the
yeah,
movie.
okay.
Everyone's dead. He leaves the farm. He meets Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Do you not?
I do, but I thought they like...
Darth Vader.
I
you
thought
know,
it was.
yeah.
I thought maybe it was
Stormtroopers.
going in reverse. I can't remember.
Well,
There
at the
was
time,
some-
at the time before they did the prequels and the sequels, because I think Disney bought the Star Wars franchise from George Lucas. Now that's why they're coming out with a Star Wars movie every like 2 years now.
No,
Yeah.
2 years. I think every 13 minutes they make a new Star Wars.
So it's
movie.
like-
and it's more ridiculous than the one before.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So it only was released in 32 theaters, in $9.5 million to make. In less than 6 months, it made $100 million.
Yeah, wow.
And then 2 years later, to the day, in 1979, Alien was released.
Oh, with Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah,
that's
hot
like,
Sigourney Weaver.
So horny beaver.
yeah. Well,
What are you?
that's a good one.
That's,
Actually, that scene in her underwear is pretty hot.
yes,
They got the
of
scene
course
in her panties.
Yes,
Yes,
it
yeah,
is.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Is this how you remember movies? Just the
Sort of.
Well, then she's in the suit where she doesn't get eaten by the alien. You know, she's in
That
she's
is
in
one of the
skeleton.
best horror movies I think ever made.
Yeah.
Oh,
but,
yeah,
But the funny
that's a
thing,
great
the
movie.
special effects in that movie was so much better than Star Wars, considering they only came out 2 years apart. I didn't realize that.
So
That's
here's
crazy.
the deal: those
Yeah, I
two
agree.
movies made a ton. They got nominated for a ton of Academy Awards and won a bunch of Academy Awards.
Mm-hmm.
And between them, I believe there are 13 sequels as of right now.
Yeah, yeah.
13 sequels of just those two movies.
Yeah.
My only question is the actors in the original Star Wars and Alien movie. What was their compensation package? Did they sign up for residuals, or they just get paid like a flat fee? Because if they sign up for the
70s
residuals,
residuals is probably not really a big thing.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but now it's. I mean, even if you got a penny, it's been played 8 gajillion
yeah,
times.
like Harrison Ford, is he still
I
making
mean,
money
every time
from Star
I actually,
Wars?
every time I actually say the word Star Wars, those guys get paid. So Star Wars, Star Wars, Aliens. There you go, bam, done. And Scott, holy moly, your cheating on your spouse should be against the law. Got a lot of people riled up.
Really?
Oh man, and it was amazingly about 50-50. Some people said you can't police morality. And others were saying it's like a business arrangement with all the assets and everything, and there should be a penalty. Delilah? I don't know what I typed here. That I have no idea what this name is. Said her divorce was because of the whore her husband shacked up with. Cost her over $40,000 in lawyers and court fees. And Kurt said pretty much the same thing, except the guy his wife shacked up with, and he used the word asshole, cost him close to $60,000.
Yeah, wow, those are some extreme examples. Yeah, well, family law. Here's the bottom line: once you get in the court system for any reason, whether it's civil or
Yep.
criminal, it's just a business. Yeah, you just don't want to be there. It's like the Roach Motel. I mean, it's just a fee. There's consultants. There's psychologists. Yeah, everything is just about the money, right? It's not really about fairness or equity. And by the way, family law in the West punishes men. That family law hates men in the West. That's a real thing, unless your wife makes more than you.
Like in the Old West, like in
Yeah. Well, in the old West, you could just shoot your rival and bury him in the desert and take his boots and hat and
Yep.
his horse
and his wife,
and then go to a whorehouse and
No, no.
go celebrate. But unfortunately, we live in a modern society where there's laws and video cameras and cell
So
phone
unfortunately,
cameras. Unfortunately, yeah.
So for you, it's
Fortunately.
unfortunate that we can't go around killing people and burying them in the desert.
Well, I mean-
that's an unfortunate turn in 2026.
Well, I'm just saying sometimes, it's an eye for an eye, But unfortunately, we live in a society where it's very modernized, and even if it's unfair, you have to just take it. You can't do
I
anything
still
about it.
feel like infidelity like that is just.
Well, here, Michael said that there are lots of reasons people cheat, and it may not be right, but you can't make laws for everything.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you
that's
can't. And there's no such thing as morality police. We're not in Iraq, so
Yeah.
I get it.
But what you can do.
Wait. Oh, okay. I looked around. I want to make
But
sure.
what you can do
I looked out
civilly-
the window. Yep.
What you can do civilly, if you can prove legally that the person was a cheater, they should get less than what they would normally be entitled to if you got divorced for, say, irreconcilable differences or something else. Where it's like, if I can conclusively prove that you cheated, yeah, you can have your other person, cool, but I shouldn't have to pay the same penalty if
That
my
seems-
wife
I mean,
left me.
Isn't that a thing?
No, it's not actually. It's not a thing. They don't differentiate. That's not a thing.
Listen,
that's
at the end
too
of the
bad.
day, the karma train pulls in for all those cheating fucks.
We'd
so,
like to- we'd
you
like-
know,
we'd like
it
to believe
just,
so.
It just comes. It's not maybe instant, maybe
Gee
later,
whiz.
but
Yeah.
I have zero. And I've got so many stories of friends and colleagues and that have gone through shit and stories. Maybe
Yeah.
one day we'll open up a few of those, but some of them are.
Oh no, that doesn't sound fun at all. So
It's
let's not do
actually
that.
pretty interesting.
Okay. You know what? Save the funny
Get
ones.
them on there.
They're not funny.
Okay,
Not
then
funny.
no, let's not do it. It's just no. Okay,
Guess
so
they are funny.
I would do
okay.
it.
Let's see. A couple weeks ago, we talked about slinkies, and amazingly, of course, I get slinky stuff in my social media. But this was one. A slinky world record was set last week.
Oh wow, that's
Okay,
coincidence.
you ready for this? And this is why I'm pissed that Guinness won't come on the show. They just refuse. 5-year-old Axel Luxinger set the world record for the most stairs descended at 53.
So he must be a Belgian prince or something. He must live in a
Really?
castle.
5 years old. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, 53 steps. That's what I was wondering.
Could have been at a stadium or a sports arena or something like that.
Oh, I
where
didn't think of that.
A high,
Okay.
school, a
Oh,
high school.
like a domino. Yeah, like a domino. Because once you get it going,
yeah.
so.
That's what I figured. My first thought was, where the hell did he get 53 steps in a row?
Right.
Like, that seems impossible. The previous record was only 23, I guess because the 4-year-old did it. 4-year-olds.
He
23
doubled
is
the record? Damn.
better than doubled it. So the young man, I was reading the story because you got to read it, right? The young man's dad bought 7 different Slinkies to try the world record, and the winner was a plastic, multicolored Slinky. That went
Plastic?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Plastic.
Oh, instead of the metal one.
Because the metal one's got more heft and it's gonna get more momentum and it weighs more.
you would think that,
But,
Yeah.
but I
the
think,
world record proves otherwise.
Plastic, huh?
Yeah.
well, you would think the metal, because it's heavier, would eventually it would gain too much momentum and probably collapse, or it wouldn't.
Yeah, like a fat guy walking down the steps. Yeah, I mean,
Those
once
are-
they take a bad step, bam,
That's
gone.
funny.
You're running
shit
you're
to
running
watch,
downhill,
too.
and
Oh,
you-
come
God.
on.
I watch that shit on those Instagram reels and I just laugh my ass off. It's so funny.
Okay, hold on. I got to get what I need for...
Along with people falling off ladders or slipping
Oh, I
downstairs.
love that stuff. Yeah, I love that stuff.
I
Yeah.
want to make sure I have the thing. There's an extra part to Ted's Tip today.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Let's get this sponsor going. Ted's Tips are brought to you by Pegrins Animal Nipple Rings. If you're looking to get your pet or just some random animal nipple piercings, go with the best, highest quality animal nipple rings. Pegrins Animal Nipple Rings have hundreds of designs in every color combination known to man. Pegrins Animal Nipple Rings, the gold standard of nipple rings.
I endorse those.
Yeah. Okay. Ted, feeling good?
I'm here.
Softball question. I'm literally going to
Lay
throw
up.
you.
Can of corn?
Yeah, I'm literally going to take a ball. I'm going to ask you where you want it, and I'm going to throw it to you. And if you swing and miss, I'm going to throw it to you again until you knock it out of the park. That's how easy this one is.
So this is like Bozo bucket number 1.
Are you ready? Ted, you need to solve a bet. That's it. That's all you're doing
It's not
today.
my bet, so I
What
don't
was
care.
a better show, Friends or Seinfeld? I have $100 riding on the answer. Don't let me down. I sent Matt my pick, but asked him not to share it until your answer. Emil, 38, Havana, Cuba.
Oh, cool. Viva Cuba.
Havana.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Ted?
nice.
This is it. This is the easiest. This is the easiest.
Well, number
Ted's
one, it's
tip
not
you've
even a
ever
tip. It's just an opinion, because obviously when you say the best, that's just subjective. But obviously I've watched a little smattering of both shows. It's been a while, but I'm going to have to go with Seinfeld. It was a little more mildly entertaining because, Friends, it was like just homogenous. Everybody was homogenous. They're just hanging around a coffee shop. They're dating each other.
Seinfeld was a combination of New York people, white New York people,
Yeah.
who met other white New York people.
But it was a show about
and that was not homogenous.
But it was a show about nothing. Just remember that.
Which show made you laugh more?
Yeah.
And
And ironically, Jerry Seinfeld's actually a super big asshole in real life. You got to laugh at that,
Oh,
as
my
most
God.
comedians
everyone
are.
is an asshole to you.
No, but he really is a dick in real life. But the point is,
And you've met him
Yeah.
to
No,
prove
no.
this.
I
Kind of
haven't.
conversation with them or
No.
done
Yeah.
a business deal with them or something?
Is he as bad as Jennifer Lopez?
she might be worse.
This is what he's talking
might
about
be worse.
yesterday.
She might be
Yesterday
worse.
we came up with something, and I said, oh, I think that guy. I go, I heard that guy's a dick, and he goes, you know who's a real dick? Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, and then he named like 3 other
She doesn't even
people.
have a dick, yeah. So no, but I have to say Seinfeld's a little more amusing because they had different plots. Where it seemed like the Friends episodes, like the plots were just kind of all in the same little tight ecosystem. They didn't really do anything. And like I said, it's been years since I've watched either one of them. But at least like Seinfeld had a little different, angle with each episode. Like you got the woman with the man hands. You got
Quiet talker.
quiet talker, close talker. The guy Jimmy, you talked about himself in the third person.
But Friends had
Oh, my
all the
God.
people at the coffee shop talking about things.
Yeah, but like I said, it's just
Stupid shit.
Yeah, stupid shit. It was like I said, it was mildly amusing, but I would just have to say there's just more variety and there was more of a comedic edge in Seinfeld, a little more creativity,
Okay.
Yeah, so
Guess what? Emil lost $100.
I'm sorry.
Do you know what he said? Yeah. He said, I had $100. Ted would pick an entirely different show and say it was better.
Oh, okay. That's a curveball. That's a curveball.
That is, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
That's what he had
Oh,
me write
that's
down.
pretty good.
Well,
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
good.
Ted normally kind of goes off the reservation a little bit.
But
But
you
that
only
one-
gave me 2 options.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so-
If you'd have said something like, unless you think there's something better, then you might
Well,
have had a
no,
better
that
chance.
was the
I know,
rub.
I
That
know,
was the
I know.
rub. Okay, so let's see what our guest, he agrees. Scott, what do you think was better, Friends or Seinfeld?
Friends.
Oh, Scott. Okay, nice knowing you, bud.
That's why it's subjective. You know, I mean, yeah, everyone's got their own opinion. That's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay, and it was it strictly? I mean, what was it? Why was Friends better?
Because I didn't watch Seinfeld that much. Yeah. I guess that's part of that.
Both of them were in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Early 90s.
Really?
I mean, long
Yeah.
freaking time ago.
89?
yeah. Now if Matthew
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. Now if Matthew Perry's ketamine dealer would have been on the show, then I would have said Friends. I'm sorry. That was a bad one. I'm sorry.
Oh my God,
He was paying for it, not me.
Scott, don't laugh at those things because he tries to work that in about every 4 shows. And it's just the first time it's ever actually made sense, and now he's going to be at it over and over and over again.
I made my point.
Oh, this is disappointing. Okay, our guest this week is Scott, and let's see if I can say this right. Scott Daigre. Pretty close?
Almost.
All right, say it.
Without the RE, it's Daig, actually.
Oh,
Dang.
damn it.
yeah.
I tried to find
Not even close.
I tried to find someone on a podcast saying your name so I could get it, and I couldn't find anybody say your last name.
Just assume it's silent.
Well, you got the I and the A transposed on the little memo here, so that's just an honest mistake. No worries.
Oh,
but it's
okay.
South Louisiana. You know, it's French last name, so you say the first 4 letters.
That's the first time someone's butchered your name, I'm sure.
The first time.
Okay, so
It is the first.
Scott is a gardener, a farmer, a landscape designer, and owner and producer of Tomatomania, the world's largest tomato seeding sale. Scott, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here, guys.
Thanks for joining us, Scott.
All right, so I got to ask this. Why tomatoes?
Why tomatoes? Well, I went to college for growing tomato seedlings and how to have little sales. It was my major.
Wait,
what?
There you go. That's amazing. You know what? I
Everybody?
remember that one in college.
Doesn't everybody? How you got here is a question that everybody asks, and I don't really know. I mean, the bottom line is I'm passionate about growing tomatoes, but it really did start with the sentimental. It started with my grandfather. This is why people do this. A large percentage is tomatoes remind you of things. I was tiny. I ended up with my mom and siblings ended up staying with my grandparents for a while. My grandfather was all about his tomatoes, and that mattered to me evidently at 4 years old. And here I am decades later, and it's a special thing. What can I tell you?
Oh,
That's
man.
pretty cool. That's
So
cool.
funny how your family influences you, because my grandparents were huge tomato fans. They had these giant, they were huge. In Iowa.
you go.
Oh my God, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it's really a strong connection. Can I tell you why? No. And I went lots of directions before I got to this. But you know what? It's true. It's something I've always done. When I got the opportunity to make a business out of it, or to grow a business out of it, so to speak, I did it. And it's been a great gift. It's been an amazing gift, and it continues to, I think about it every day. So it's fun and I love it.
All right, so
Nice.
do the cucumber people, when you get together with them, you guys battle it out? I mean, is there some animosity?
They're remarkably silent out there, the cucumber people. I've never really run into any.
Oh man, we're gonna get boy.
That's the poor man's vegetable.
Oh, geez. Hey, we still enjoy it, but they're just not out there like the tomato folks. The crazy tomato maniacs everywhere are a joy, and that's why we're around.
All right, so since you've become basically Mr. Tomato, okay? Oh, you know what you should hit? You know what? All right,
Here comes the $1 million idea. Here it
Here's
comes.
Scott.
I'm gonna get that.
Early on, this is your $1 million idea. Instead of Mr. Potato Head, you should come up with Mr. Tomato Head.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I had somebody once do a whole photo shoot, and they took all those little plastic things of the Mr. Potato Head guy, and they actually made Mr. Tomato Head. This was years ago. That's so wild, man. I've long forgotten about that. But it happened a long time ago, and I don't know. It never took off. What can I say?
All right, well, if you decide it's yours for free, we always give our guests one great idea. We give it to them for free. If you end up
Nice.
making Mr. Tomato Heads, though, we will require you to send us one so we have one for the studio.
Yeah, we've
heck,
got
I'll
all
send
our
you
little
3,
trinkets around here.
All right,
I'll
so
send as many as you want.
no, one is more than anybody wants. Since you become Mr. Tomato Head, how many people have asked you if you say tomato or tomato, and would you like to kick every one of them?
Countless, and yes, probably. It is. Yeah, we get that all the time. I said, where do we? I have Southern California friends who say tomato, and every time they do, I just look at them and go, "What?" Like how did that happen? Important and unimportant, I guess, in the end, it does happen, and a lot.
Oh man. Okay.
So tomato is the right pronunciation, just so we're
Yeah,
clear.
that's what I use. How's that? I guess
All right.
right is right.
Well,
Right. You can.
Mr. Tomato, so I'm going with it.
Yeah, that would be weird
let's
if you were
do
Mr.
tomato.
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 That seems definitely
Sounds
seems
like the Italian guy down the street.
yeah,
Mr. Clamato.
That definitely seems weird. Okay, so now I know I've done my research, and I realized, and see if I'm right. There's about a little over 8,000 different kinds of tomatoes. Is that
You're
right?
right in there. That's about the number. The number I talk about is about that I hear the most often is just about 7,000. But there's new ones every year, and who can keep track? Who cares? It's a lot. So it's thousands and thousands. And for us, the edit is always the hard part. Like, which ones do I not grow? How many thousand do I not grow in a given season? That's the tough part. There are many.
How many have you tried? If you think, if say there's 7,000, have you legitimately tried a high percentage of the tomatoes?
We've got a database with about 1,200 tomatoes on it, and we've tried most of those. So and each year, like I say, we have new ones that we pull into the fray, and yeah, we try to we grow them and we try them. So there's about 1,200. I guess that's a good round number that we've grown in however many years. 20 years of sort of keeping track and like that. So yes,
That's quite an inventory.
Yeah.
it's a lot of tomatoes. Let me tell you, it's a lot. It's a lot to keep track of.
So do you sell to like the public, or do you sell to wholesalers or restaurants, or what's your or mail order?
Sorry, I didn't get all that.
I'm sorry. Do you sell to wholesalers or restaurants, or mail order, direct to consumer?
Well, guys, we've done a little bit of all of that, but we're really not about the food. We're about the plants.
I see.
I'm the beginning of the season guy. Okay. So our audience is truly, avid gardeners, community gardeners, home farmers, chefs, of course, foodies, of course. Anybody who likes that great different taste you can get when you grow a tomato in your backyard and you pick it warm and eat it, right? That's our audience. Yes, we've done some quote unquote tomato business, we get that question all the time, like where do you sell your tomatoes? And we don't truly do that. We have tastings during the summer that we love, and that's a lot of fun. And yes, I've sold tomatoes, but that's only when I have a bumper crop in a test garden and I don't want to waste them. And my freezer is all full or whatever it is. Farming's hard, so I haven't gotten there yet. Okay. And I would like to say I'm a farmer, but damn, I'm tired after the spring. So farming's a big job, and I leave it to the pros.
All right.
Interesting. Very
So
interesting.
a couple of growing questions. I know squirrels and tomatoes don't mix.
Oh God, no.
Would you like to join me on the first annual squirrel slaughter?
I might participate. I got probably a lot of people who would join you on that.
Yes.
And I know that's not a nice thing, and that's not, the Mr. McGregor in you comes out when you have that beautiful crop growing and somebody takes it before you can get to it. It's just that's a natural reaction. It needs to be mine, not yours, even if you're small and fuzzy and cute. So there we are.
Is it better to grow tomatoes in a greenhouse or outside, in your opinion?
Oh yeah, that's better. Is it better in a greenhouse?
A greenhouse or outside, like natural?
Well, you're in so many ways you're protected in a greenhouse. You have different worries in a greenhouse, and I think it's always going to be better. It's easier for the farmer outside, I should think, because remember, in a greenhouse you have to have perfect conditions, and unless you have a huge one that's got all the bells and whistles and can make it, everything from ventilation to light regulation to whatever. It's easier for most people to grow outside, and we encourage that, and that's the natural way you would do it. So outside is better.
Okay.
All right. Now, I read that tomatoes have a tough time pollinating, and you actually need, and I did not know this, bees' wings vibrating to pollinate tomatoes. Is that right?
No, it's not. It's not actually.
So goddamn AI is
The internet is wrong.
Look, hey, bees are great. We love bees, and bees can that action around a flower can help to not stimulate, but to encourage pollen drop, right? But the flower of a tomato, the anatomy of that flower is such that it's actually very easy for it to pollinate itself, which is why hybridizing or creating a new variety is more difficult in a tomato than it might be in some other things, because you have to be really careful about the parts and the whatevers. And that's not me. I'm not the science guy, right? I'm the promoter. I'm the guy with the megaphone, not the tweezers, can I tell you? So they do a lot of hard work getting this. That's a lot of hard work to actually hybridize a tomato. So yes, you can rely on most of them to pollinate without assistance. If it's in a greenhouse, back to that question, sort of, for example, they might vibrate they might hit the shell, they might cause agitation some way with moving shells or the surface, or with wind, or with whatever, to sort of help that fertilization. But normally they're pretty good on their own. When it gets hot, however, guys, over 90 degrees, pollen becomes sticky, and it's less likely to drop and fertilize that flower, and that becomes tough. But on the whole, you actually don't need bees. It's not the end all. Can they help? Sure.
Okay, so tomatoes. Okay, so when I saw that, I was like, me getting tomatoes seemed like a miracle. When because I'm like, I don't see that many bees around, and I'm thinking, okay, if you need bees' wings to vibrate, how does anybody ever grow a tomato? But now it makes more sense.
Well, from a seed too, right, Scott? That's what your thing is. You grow them from a seed. When I grow tomato plants, I'm buying them from Menards. They're 6-8 inches high, and you
Bingo. That's what we provide. So we've already done that for you, right? So we give you a plant that's already started. So yes, and you're waiting for that tomato to grow and to pollinate and all that. Nothing, unless you're saving seeds, nothing really matters in terms of you being careful about the pollination and all that.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, all of us, and I'm not that person either. So for all intents and purposes, I'm an average home gardener. I don't really care. I'm going to plant that plant. I know what I'm going to get in that given year, and I'm really not concerned about the seed or cross-pollination or anything like that. And again, it doesn't happen often, or it's not an easy thing in tomatoes.
So are you trimming down, like pruning the tomato plants? I remember I had them in my backyard, and I put this fence up and these long sticks, and the thing just kept growing and growing and growing, and it didn't really bear fruit until I thought much later. And then someone's like, oh, you got to prune it back so it, blooms sooner and all that stuff. Is there anything to all that?
Well, there's something to that, and then no, you don't have to. How's that for direct?
That sounds like a Ted Tip answer.
That's like a politician answer, right?
Nice.
But no, here's the deal: do you have to prune or pinch to have a successful season? No, absolutely not. You think farmers are out there on 3,000 acres pruning and pinching and all that? Let's think about that for about 1 second. No, so they're out there and they're letting go. Now, to your point, however, yes, I get those emails all summer. My plant is 10 feet tall and there's not a tomato in sight. What the heck?
Yep.
What the heck is that about? Here's the deal. I agree with the farmer in that I got too many. And I'm too busy, and I will pinch occasionally, just when I have a problem child, and it's not staying in the cage, or it's growing over something next to it, or whatever. But on the whole, I don't pinch and prune like some people do. Some people on the other end of the spectrum think that yes, you've got to take off first of all the leaves before the fruit's set, and then pinch all that what they call suckers, right?
Right.
You suckers that are growing at that point where the stem meets a leaf. It's a sucker, yes, but it's also a branch that's going to flower and fruit. Mm-hmm. So for lazy people like me, I'm going to get more branching. I'll get more fruit probably in the end. And yes, it will probably take longer, but there'll be smaller fruit. And I don't care. Tomato has X amount of energy. You can either put that energy into 10 larger tomatoes, especially if you're after the big ones, or it can put that energy into 35 smaller tomatoes. I want 35. I'm not interested in 10. Right. I want lots of tomatoes. So I tend to let them grow and let them stretch out, support them as I should, feed them as I should. And this is all very important in getting what you need. Feed them, make sure they're in the right exposure, and I get lots of tomatoes. It can be a very different strategy. Yes, you can get different results because on some level, as you start removing branching and pinching, the plant physiology is going, oh shit, somebody's attacking me. I got to create seeds. Right. It's working hard to make seed so that it can do its job, which is delivering a tomato. So that both schools of thought exist, and yes, you can be very successful without doing not anything. But you know what? one of that is with pinching and pruning, not the rest of it. But one of the things that in those years when I've been inspired to grow two plants, right, one where I pinch and one where I don't, same one, same conditions, just to see what happens. You take branching and leaves and stuff off a tomato, and you can see more of the fruit as it develops. And as a gardener, that makes a difference. It makes you proud every day you go into. So there's something like I'm growing a big green jungle, and then you go look and, oh yeah, there's tomatoes in there. And it's a very different experience when you can go out and, wow, look what I'm doing. And you see that. And that's what happens when you pinch and you prune. You get a plant that's more open, right? It's more available both to be seen and the rest.
All right,
and that's what we
So
that's a strategy for coastal growers or stuff.
Okay, so if you're talking about pinching and pruning, let's just do this. Is there something I can throw into my garden? And I'm not talking about something I buy. Is there something that I just have around the house without being like a pesticide or herbicide or whatever that I can throw into my tomatoes that will make them grow better?
Yes, of course. Oh, absolutely. Feeding a tomato is a greedy weed. I mean, a tomato is just a greedy weed. That's what it is. And it's going to take everything you give it. And unless you have super great soils, you need to fortify that. You need to give it, vitamins, minerals, all those things that mom told you had to have. So you need to be on a feeding regimen. If you're growing like me in Southern California, our soils are shit. They're not good.
Wait, I thought shit was good. That's fertilizer.
Well, that's not the kind of crap I'm talking about. No, they're just not rich. Now you go to Portland where you got all that foresty leaves, or even the East. Anyway, our soils are very different. We need to feed more. We have lean soils, and that's different everywhere. So in answer, yes, you need to add something to your tomatoes to make them happen. You need to make sure you have a balanced fertilizer. That's really key. There's a whole fertilizer language out there on a bag. You got to know what you're adding and make sure that you're giving them everything they need. It's not that difficult. It's not that hard. It really is. You just give them something that's balanced. And that's a whole thing. You've got, the manufacturers will provide 3 numbers on a bag to let you know what the 3 main nutrients, what the percentages or, strength of the 3 main nutrients is. If you buy, here's the quick one. There are 3 main nutrients that plants need: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Nitrogen is about green, phosphorus is about bloom, and potassium is just about overall strength and sturdiness. If you buy grass fertilizer, you're buying 3100. It's all about green. You put that on your tomatoes, you can have a big green plant. That's all it's getting. Those 3 numbers have to be balanced. So if I'm buying a 463, if you're buying a synthetic fertilizer, right, a chemical fertilizer, you can find 888, 21, 21, 21. It's formulated in a lab. If it's organic, the numbers will be a little bit different. Again, 463, 47, whatever, but they're balanced. And that's visible on every fertilizer bag. So look for it. And you just want to know that what you're giving your plants is balanced. Those companies have done it for you. It's done. So you apply it on a schedule that they recommend, and you move forward, and that's what they need.
Okay.
But you just can't buy it. You just can't buy your fertilizer and put it in the shed and forget about it. That's the key, right? That's the key.
I actually have some in my shed that I just
Of course you
I
do.
literally
We
had
all
it for
do.
2 years. Okay,
We all do.
So let's just say I'm a bad person, and my neighbor's tomato plants are growing much better than mine. What can I throw into their plants to make their plants die? And this is revenge. This is revenge on fertilizer.
I'd say that's where you let your squirrels go, but that's not what you want because they're coming back on your side. But no, obviously, I think you just really be really nice with them to them so they'll share. That's what you need.
it.
Everybody has too much tomato, so they will eventually have way too many. So be nice to them and they'll share with you.
Well, what's the old saying? If you have to go to the store to buy tomatoes, you don't have a lot of friends.
I never heard that.
At least on or about July 15, right?
So it's
exactly
funny.
right.
It's funny. Tomatoes are one of those because obviously tomatoes are fruit. They're not a veggie,
Oh,
which
God,
I still have to
yes.
think
Yes,
about.
they are.
I still have
That's
to think
true.
about. But actually, tomatoes are one. It's like an egg where I don't want to bite a tomato by itself, but I love it on everything. Like if it's diced in salad, it's great. If it's on a hamburger, it's great. If it's on a hot dog, it's great. But if you just
Cool.
gave me a tomato by itself, it's
It's not like an apple. You're not whipping one out and chopping it.
Yeah.
down.
I'm not-
I
I'm
love
not-
tomatoes, but just not that. It's not like a standalone meal for me where I could just eat a tomato. I mean, if I had to, I would.
plenty-
But, so.
Plenty people do. I get that. I understand. And hey, I want you to enjoy tomatoes however you want to enjoy them. But there are plenty people who, I'm a get it, slice it, put a little hint of salt and go for it kind of gardener. I'm all about a tomato by itself.
Yep.
And so many people are. Whatever works.
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of the same way. I don't like biting. Here's my problem. I don't like biting into a complete tomato.
Right.
So I couldn't just
'Cause
do it.
it
Even the cherry
explodes.
tomatoes.
Even though it's good,
I
Even
have
though
to
it's good.
cut them in
Yeah.
half,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
I have to cut them in
Right.
some way. That whole biting into a tomato thing, where it gets super
Yeah.
swishy and explodes, I really find that weird.
Everyone has
It's gonna be
their
totally messy.
favorite
It
tomato.
is absolutely going to be messy.
Yeah.
Okay, so couple of questions here. Hanging pot tomatoes. Is this cool, or should we be hunting these people down?
Those ones that you mean the topsy-turvy things?
Yeah.
Thinking it grows out of the bottom?
Yeah, you stick it up high and it grows down, and they think they're cool.
we've actually done kind of, informal surveys on this, and I get a 50-50 on that. So the minute I say they're terrible, and why would you do that? Somebody says, well, last year I got 25 pounds of some huge beefsteak off them. And I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. A couple observations. Normally, and because it's going to be heavy if it's any bigger, those pots are small. They're small. That would be my first complaint. And when I'm telling, if you're going to go grow a tomato in a pot, I'm going bigger. Nope, bigger. No, a big pot, right? And so those things are not large. If they were, they'd fall off your arbor or whatever, and there you are. And with a small pot come a host of problems. Like you got to water it more, you got to fertilize it more, you got all this. Generally, people won't do that, and then boom, failure, right? So it's all whatever. However, if you're a gardener who can stay on top of that, why not? I wouldn't put it in full sun, for example. Put it in half day of sun so it's not so stressed. You don't have to water. Make allowances, right? You have a situation that isn't ideal, so you got to have a strategy that works. You can't do it like you do everything else and expect it to work. So again, I don't do them. I think it feels like a bit of a gadget to me, like a kit. And that normally doesn't follow. I don't go. I'm not gravitating to that. But for some people, they like that, and it works for half the people I've asked.
Okay.
All right. So what's the biggest mistake people make when they're growing tomatoes?
Probably overwatering.
Overwatering?
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
I would have thought not watering enough. You have to water the shit out of tomatoes, right?
Well, it depends on a lot of things. Where are you? Do you get rain in the summer? What's your soil like? All of these things. How hot is it in your summer? So there's all these things that sort of get into that, right? And so you have to. It's not always an easy thing. In containers, everybody around the world is doing the same thing. You can create a perfect soil, so you almost have a little bit more control over that. Mm-hmm. It does require more watering and thus more fertilizer, because every time you water, you're flushing fertilizer right out of the bottom of those things. So in a container, you're going to water more. That's harder to regulate probably, and you're going to take a little while to figure out how that soil's going to work. In the ground, it's equally challenging. So normally what we talk about, guys, is deep, infrequent watering, because that takes care of those people who forget to water a little bit every day. That takes care of them. So deep, infrequent water is most often what we talk about for home gardeners who are busy and it's summer and they're going away for the weekend and whatever. Get that soil wet. And the strategy that we always talk about is soak the root ball. When you buy a 4-inch pot, when you water it, you need to put as much water as it will take to soak that little tiny root ball. Now, every week, that root ball is going to grow. The roots are going to begin to stretch out. So as you water in the summer, when you water a little bit more, but soak the root ball. And then when you do that, that always pushes water below the root zone. Bingo. You want water below the root zone, so they go deeper, the plant gets stronger, and they always have something on a windy or hot day. So I think overwatering, because we all want the plant to be perfect all season, and we give it a lot of water in the early part of the season and it looks great, but in the last part of the season, when it's not worried about leaves anymore, it's worried about fruit, and the plant starts looking kind of awful, right? The first thing people do is grab the hose, and they want to fix it. They want it back like it was 3 weeks after they planted it, which will not generally happen. And so what you end up with is soil that's too wet, and the plant, especially in places where you're already getting rain. See, we don't deal in that. I don't know from the summer rain thing. Everything I give the plant is all it gets. So it's actually easier for us to manage. And it happens here as well. So I think that's probably. I think overwatering. We baby them too much. How's that?
Okay.
So I have a question. What's in your opinion, what's like the most valuable tomato that people want right now? Is there a certain type, or where it's very desirable that they'll pay a premium for it? Like, or what's the most you've sold a tomato for, or the price that you know of that a tomato is worth to, like, say, like a restaurant or like a 5-star Michelin restaurant or something like that?
Gosh, I don't know if there's a price. I don't know that there one would be more pricey than another. Because even if they're rare, they still all take the same kind of. And I guess that has to relate to my events, because we don't charge more for a rare thing that I can only get 10 seeds of. I don't charge more for it necessarily, but because I did everything the same. I think in that to get to that question, I think you'd probably have to go. Let's see. what's out there that's new and different and crazy that a chef could scream about, maybe not even charge for. There are lots of new ones that have all these wacky stripes and color blends and
Right. Yep.
and all of that. And a chef, I think that's what's more valuable in terms of what people want to see on the plate.
Optics.
And I don't know that they're even more, more valuable on, in a bag or bucket or whatever the case or however they're sold. So in terms of value, I think the value is let's get the weird ones. There's a whole line out there, guys, that was hybridized in a backyard, right, by an avid hybridizer, and it's called, back to your Star Wars, it's called Rebel Starfighter Prime, right? That's
That's actually pretty funny. That's funny. That's good.
Don't you think they were probably at the theater there in 1970, whatever it was, and then a lot of times. But Rebel Starfighter Prime, and now there are 11 variations on that theme. I'm growing a dwarf Rebel Starfighter in my backyard right now, just to see how it is, right? So if I'm a chef, I'm putting that shit on a menu, and I'm going, yeah, I got Rebel Starfighters right here in that salad, and I'm gonna do something fabulous. And I think, to your point, yeah, they'd charge for that.
Hell yeah, I would buy a
Charge
salad.
a premium, charge a premium.
Okay,
for it,
so what if I saw that there was a little controversy a couple years ago for Tomato of the Year, and it was a purple tomato, and it was hybridized with like a lilac flower or something. I mean, if you could make a tomato sauce that was purple, I mean, wouldn't that be something that kind of jumps out at people?
I think it'd be cool. I think when you get into that, from a chef's point of view, I think you get into a problem. I don't think it would keep that purple, and so I think what you might get would just be this muddy kind of, ooh, that's not so appetizing thing. But I don't know for sure. But I think what you're talking about, the controversial one, was the GMO tomato.
Right.
Actually, it was actually GMO, purple on the inside, purple on the outside. Oh my goodness, there was a lot of chat about that. However, there are what we call the blue or the antho tomatoes out, and this has been happening for 15, 20 years now. Not GMO, absolutely not. Somebody found a little tiny Oregon State, I think, isolated the gene or the seed, found a little small wild tomato that was purple, eggplant colored, right? I'm betting it didn't taste very good. And what they did was they started crossing that with modern lines and moving it into commerce by breeding it into favorite tomatoes or colorful tomatoes or whatever. And now we have this huge array of anthocyanin or blue tomatoes, indigo tomatoes. It's the same anthocyanin that's in blueberries, right? Same anthocyanin that's in blueberries, cool. So it's healthier, and it's everywhere now on all sizes of tomatoes and stripes. And our tomato of the year this year is an antho tomato.
Does it taste regular?
Oh yeah. It's just shit. It's a visual thrill.
Oh my God! It looks terrible. You know what it looks like? It looks like something you find on an alien planet that you bend down to touch, and it eats your face off right there. It's like
the Thing.
Look, Star Trek, when you bring the one guy down, was it the red shirt who always comes down and it's like, go ahead, Private Roberts, why don't you go ahead and touch that? For no reason whatsoever. And he touches it and it just goes...
No, that's like the Blob, where he's touches, then it just
gets... They're pretty amazing and beautiful. And no, they don't taste different. Sometimes a couple strains of those will take forever to ripen, which is kind of a pain if you're a gardener and you're on your strategy is a timeline. But apart from that, they do exactly what, the others do. And in fact, now there are some really early blues. So it's all happening across the board. It's one of those amazing things that starts to happen and turns an industry on its ear. It really does. So a chef, again, back to your other question there, is a chef is prone to that because that's bang on the plate and they love that. So that's value. There's no question.
Okay. So let's say, let's say you're anywhere, and it's probably a little generic to say anywhere in the world.
Right.
But what would be a kind of tomato that would pretty much be foolproof? No matter where I'm at, I just want to grow some tomatoes. I want to make it as physically easy as possible. I want to do the least amount of work. Is there one or two kinds of tomatoes that are just like, that's the way to go? That one's almost idiot proof.
Well, yes. Start with cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomato is the closest to the species, to what we first found years ago, that we think was documented anyway. They're tougher, they produce more, there are more uses for them, or you have the versatility of a cherry. I think that's probably the toughest, right? And that's what I'll tell a beginning gardener. You want to grow a tomato, you're going to feel good when you get a lot, and I want that for a new gardener. So I always grow a cherry tomato. Most of the cherries are hybrids. That means that somebody put that together. Somebody said, there's a small tomato that tastes good, and I'm going to cross it with a tomato that's really disease resistant. And bang, you get both, hopefully. The better mousetrap, right?
Right.
So hopefully that's what's happened. When you grow a hybrid tomato, you got a little science behind you. When you grow an heirloom tomato, you don't necessarily. An heirloom was kept around because it tasted good, or it produced in a short time, or it was some wacky, crazy shape. Those were the reasons that, they kept them around. So I think if in that situation, there's A, grow a cherry tomato, B, find a reliable hybrid, that's not huge. Smaller tomatoes just get you more tomatoes. And if you want to feel successful, I want to see more tomatoes on the counter. And that's what I would tell a new grower anywhere in the world.
So my question is, what's the opposite of that? What's like the most high maintenance tomato to grow that
well, it's got to be the larger beefsteaks. The big, those big, huge ones. And that's on the farmer. In other words, they grow the same. Some people don't like to grow beefsteaks because just the opposite of cherry tomatoes. They don't produce as much. They don't. They have a lot to do, and they produce something that's huge. And that's amazing. And often they'll surprise you and produce like a cherry. And that's a beautiful thing. Doesn't happen all the time. And that's why some people are, heirlooms aren't as good because they will give you not as much of a harvest. However, you get a bonus in the taste department, in the looks department, in just the volume, right? Like that. But I think the biggest thing, guys, on that question is you have a longer season to manage until you get fruit, right? I think that's the hardest that's the most demanding of a gardener or of a home farmer, is that you got to be on point. You got to keep the squirrels away. You got to feed. You got to water right. You've got 4.5 months to do it. And rather than with some of these cherries or early ones, 2.5 months or
So
a shorter season.
How do you keep the
squirrels? I think that would be the challenging ones. Those would be the challenging ones. And I don't normally do that with a beginning gardener. I'll say no.
So
learn how to do it.
How do you keep the
then
squirrels
get on
away?
that, and that would be the biggest challenge.
How do you keep the squirrels away if you're outside?
Sorry?
How do you keep the squirrels away?
Wire.
How do you keep the squirrels away from your tomatoes? I mean,
Wire.
I use a BB gun. Oh, wire. Okay.
Wire. That is it. I posted yesterday, guys.
Okay.
I did a story yesterday, and I posted a picture of hardware cloth that sits on top of one of my test gardens that's very adjacent to fields. And I wrote on there squirrel insurance, right? Because it's the only way. And unless you have wire around the bottom, they're going to get through the bottom and come up, into your plants that way. So yes, think chicken coop for tomatoes. I have two friends here, and who've just done that. They just built a chicken coop, or that's what it looks like, and that's where they plant their tomatoes. Big job, yes, that's big doings, but that's the way to keep them out.
And those goddamn squirrels, they take one bite or two, just enough to spoil the tomato. They just
that's it. A couple things on that though. Yes, and that's another reason to grow cherries, right? Because chances are you got enough that you can share a few if they do get around, and that may be a better strategy.
Okay, I like that.
So grow a cherry. You get the ones they forgot, right? And that's good.
Right.
And also there's a whole set of tomatoes that are black, in quotes. They're dusky colored. They're sort of purple. They're sort of whatever. I think that confuses squirrels. I do. I think they get at those less or without so much energy. So, and look, it can be often hard to spot one of these dusky dark tomatoes even among green foliage. So that may be part of the issue, part of the plus. And it's hard for a gardener. Sometimes you're like, oh gosh, I got a ton of tomatoes in here I didn't see, and maybe that could be it. But a black tomato, again, it's sort of it's purple meets brown meets scarlet, and it often hides a little bit better than the oranges and the yellows. What can I say?
Okay, so let's talk taste. There's 7,000 plus different tomatoes.
Yes.
I read that the this year's tomato, the tart rolets.
Tart rollois. Yes.
Yeah.
That's another French word. French word for you. See.
Okay. Obviously, I took French in high school, and I was there only for the hot chicks. Okay.
There you go.
It said it had a pineapple taste. Is that actually accurate? Does it actually taste pineapple-y?
Well, the sweetness goes to a pineapple sweetness. Its parents are a white one with a pink ends, often can have pink on the blossom end. So it's super, super sweet. And yes, there are essences. There are parts of that taste is what we taste in pineapple, and it's sweet for a tomato. It's really sweet. So that's what's in this one. And when they're truly ripe, you cut that yellow tomato and you'll see pink on the inside, little stripes of rosiness in there. They're amazing. And yes, you get with a properly ripe one, you get some very surprising tastes.
Wow. Okay. This is a tough question for you. Okay. Let's say I'm going to a play or a show. Which tomatoes should I bring to make the biggest mess if I don't like the show and I want to lob the tomatoes at the actors on the stage? Your recommendation.
I got it. I think you bring oxheart tomatoes. Do you know what those are?
No.
Okay. I mentioned you're familiar with the cherries. You're familiar with a slicer, I'm sure. It's kind of round. Well, it's not kind of round. It just makes perfect round slices for a hamburger. Then you know what a beefsteak is. It's kind of like a small pumpkin, right? They're flattened. Sometimes
I've seen those. Yeah, the big
all
ones.
of that. Well, all of those would be okay, but I think what you really want is you want an overripe oxheart tomato. And an oxheart is a tomato that it falls into the sauce category. I don't like categories because I think you ought to make sauce out of everything. But it falls into the sauce category because the tomato is super dense and super thick. So it's nice and heavy. First of all, it's gonna feel like a softball. So it's really good. It's a good one to throw. It's just flat. It's gonna be a good one to throw. And the oxheart is it's called that because it's roughly Valentine shape. It actually looks like a bull's heart. You'll never see the same shape on a plant, but there you are. The standard is it looks like a heart, and it's weighty and meaty. And when that thing goes soft, or when it goes over, it all goes soft. So you have a perfect. I don't want to call it a weapon. That's not right. But it's a projectile. It could be a good projectile. How's that?
So if someone's in the pillory in the public square and you want to publicly shame them, throw the oxheart. Yeah.
That's what Rebel Starfighter is.
Splatter it right on them.
there.
Okay, got it.
Oxheart tomatoes. And look, I wouldn't throw too many because they're really delicious and you'll want to keep some because they're amazing. But that if you're going to throw one at a target, that would be one. That would be the one.
Okay, and you know what? I suspect, Scott, that on your website, Fine Gardener and Tomatomania, that will be the topic of discussion at some point this summer. The perfect tomato for lobbing.
There you go. Which one makes the biggest sploosh, right?
Right.
That would be the one.
There you go.
I don't know that I've ever been asked that question before. So that's a new one. That's a new one.
All right.
Scott, I'm on your website and I see all these events. As listeners might know, I'm in the events business, and it is a lot.
And I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it looks like you go to farms and you bring your brand there, and it's local. And tell them a little bit about the event business here because it looks pretty robust for.
Well, thank you. It was very robust, and I'm feeling the effects this year. We just finished a weekend in Denver. With our friends at a place called O'Toole's Nursery in 2 locations in Denver. I
see it, May 16 through 17. Okay.
Just phenomenal. This is phenomenal. This is part of a new program. To your point, I can't do 17 events from February to May and survive. So I've got good hosts now. I have core events in Southern California that we staff and run, and then now I have beautiful hosts out in Denver, in Washington State, in other parts of California who take this event, and I do everything except show up. And they run it for us. I grow, I select, I deliver, all of that, all the promo and the rest.
Really?
And they actually man the sites. I have more than that I staff, but I only have one that I'm the whole circus anymore. And that's the only way we could build it to this degree. So you'll understand that. I can't have 3-day load-ins at every spot. I would absolutely kill myself in 2 weeks. So
well, the first one's in February and you go all the way to May. So I mean that's
bingo.
That's bingo. A lot of
we're lucky in Southern California. We have a very long season, right? I did White Flower Farm. We did my friends out at White Flower Farm hosted us years and years ago in Litchfield in Connecticut. You got a weekend. You got 1 weekend to plan. If you don't get them in before, on Memorial Day, which means you're buying in the week before Memorial Day, you don't have a season because of the short season there. And we go there, and it was 45 degrees and raining, and the Southern Californians, all of us are going, oh my God, how do you do this? But in Southern California, we can plant, depending on where you are, we can plant from the end of February until July 1.
Really?
And it's part of a good strategy for gardeners that are here. So thus, the extended schedule works for me here because I can do it. And I'm different on the beach than I am at inland locations and all that. So we schedule along with the season and basically, I guess, generally go north with the season. We've done Northern California at the end of the season before. We did Washington State at the end, toward the end of April. So yes, it's a big load, and we're thrilled with it. And it's mostly possible because now we have hosts. And man, it's working like a charm, and we're kind of thrilled. We've been doing this for over 25 years now, and we've tried it in multiple states and a lot of cities. And this is where we are. So thanks for looking. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it's quite a brand. I see in all the photos, Tomatomania is a logo. And is that something that you register, or you just let these guys use it? And obviously it pulls people into their nursery or their farm, and they come for Tomatomania, but they also, there's a residual effect there too, probably, right?
Ideally, we're a traffic builder.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
right. That is what we are. We're like, hey, let's package this for the springtime. It makes sense. We provide. If you're a host, you're doing exactly what you do in the springtime. You're ordering the exact same tomatoes that you order I don't change anything, right? You do you. I come in, and for instance, in a Denver, for example, they order 20 varieties of tomatoes. I grew 80 other varieties, delivered them, and packaged the event. Wow. So now they've got 100 varieties at that store or those stores, right? And big bang, people lose their minds. They can't believe this because they haven't seen it before.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. We see all the numbers going up: the soil, the fertilizer, the everything.
Yes, it lifts all boats there for sure.
It all gets bounced up because we chat about it, right? I mean, we have fun with it. That's really what we do, is we're having a party at these things, and people get excited. They come in for 5, they leave with 10, and they become bigger tomato maniacs next season. That's how this goes.
Exactly.
We're all that. We're all that. And so yeah, thank you. It's an ambitious thing for all of us. I have an amazing staff that has sort of wrestled with me and then sort of morphed with us as we've gone along. And man, yeah, we have a good time. That's why we do it. It's a heck of a lot of work, as you point out.
Yep.
But the fact that we have fun, and in most cases we're successful. You
don't go back there.
There are the odd moments we have frustration in that department, but we're really lucky. This thing sells, and it works. And yeah, there we are. That's where we sit today.
Congratulations.
And it's probably I've got to figure that tomatoes are the most grown thing for home gardeners out of any plant that there is, right? I mean,
they are. You talk about a gateway drug. It's not only the gateway drug, but it is that. I mean, 90 million people grow tomatoes, and of avid gardeners, some huge percentage of avid gardeners have a tomato in their garden. So,
sure.
Yes. You're dead on it there.
All right, so Scott, this is the time when you get to show your knowledge. And you get to knock down these two idiots, because it is tomato quiz time. Every time we have a guest on, we have a quiz, and it is you.
Okay.
It is you against Ted and Scott. Okay, so
all right, guys.
Here are the rules, and I made it a little bit easier this time.
Thank God.
I usually leave it pretty open ended, but this time I got a lot of multiple choice and even a true or false. Okay.
Wow.
Damn.
Here's what's going to happen, Scott. You cannot answer until these two answer first. Here's why, and everybody knows this. Whatever you answer, they will copy. So
obviously,
well, that's okay. I got you.
Just pretend. I'm going to pretend you're the Asian guy in school. I'm going to copy off of you. I'm just kidding.
Why?
I'm joking. I'm joking.
God. Oh my God!
But let's face it, he's probably right.
And Scott, the other thing is you need to get these. You need to get these right.
I do.
No one has lost.
I'm feeling the pressure right now.
Okay, no one has lost to these two idiots, just so you know. Okay, question number 1, multiple choice. How much of a tomato is? You're not grabbing. Okay, no phones. How much of a tomato is water? 65%, 75%, 85%, or 95%? How much of a tomato is water? Ted?
I'm going to say 75%.
Okay.
I'm going to say 85.
Scott? Oh boy, he's thinking.
Well, come on, guys. It depends which one. Didn't I just talk about
this?
That?
Is on average. I mean, this is okay. I'm
on average.
That's
on
legit.
average. On average. I think it's. What was the first choice? How
65, 75, 85, or 95.
I'm gonna go.
Remember, this is all AI. I'm
gonna go with 65.
According to AI, 95% of a tomato.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Come on.
Wow.
Okay. Ooh, strike one.
Wow. Okay, I don't.
So no one got that right.
No
So,
one got that right.
Scott,
Nobody.
your integrity is still in place.
Okay, here we go. Which one of these is not a real name for tomato? Is not a real name for tomato.
Like it.
Ted's Pink Currant, Matt's Wild Cherry, Chicago Fire, or Great Scott? Which one of these is not a real name for tomato? Ted's Pink Currant, Matt's Wild Cherry, Chicago Fire, Great Scott.
So you're saying of the 4, 3 are legit.
3 are legit.
No shit.
One is not legit. Which
my
one is not? Oh, don't, Scott. Not yet. Not yet. Let these guys.
Oh, I'm
He's
All right.
looking at his iPad. I can
Walters,
see
you're
it.
first.
Where's my database?
You're first.
I'm going to say Chicago Fire.
Chicago Fire. Teddy?
Ted's Pink Currant can't be a real thing.
Okay. Scott?
I'm going to say Great Scott.
The real answer. Which one is not a tomato? Chicago Fire.
Dude, I'm not doing well here.
Okay. This is getting ugly, and I'm not liking this. Okay.
It is.
Let's make it a true or false. It's 50-50 now. True or false? There are 2 places on Earth where tomatoes won't grow. The Arctic Circle and the equatorial rainforests. Ted?
Seems like a trick.
That's not true or false.
Seems like a trick question.
True or false? There's 2 places on
Oh,
Earth
okay,
where tomatoes won't grow. The
I got-
Arctic Circle
gotcha.
and equatorial
I'm gonna have to
rainforest.
say the Arctic Circle, obviously.
No,
right?
Ted. It's both places.
Oh,
Is it true that they won't grow in both places? The equatorial rainforest and the Arctic Circle.
I'm gonna say true.
I'm going to say false. There's got to be more places.
Scott?
Oh, God.
You didn't see this coming. You didn't see this coming. Oh,
Why did I
guy.
accept this
Not in my
invitation?
event
Poor- this poor
profile.
guy.
What can
Why-
I, you know,
why would you do this to this poor man?
And again, I'm going, how do you make it go in the short of a greenhouse? I'm going to say false.
It is true. There are only 2 places on Earth where tomatoes will not grow.
I was trying to be-
The
trying
Arctic
to be
Circle
smart
and the
there.
equatorial
Well,
rainforest.
wait. What about the bottom of the ocean? They don't grow there.
Well, there's
Oh,
that.
Jesus
or on
Christ.
top of a volcano. They don't grow there. Come on.
Okay, inside my dog's ass. I mean, there's a lot of places that a tomato won't grow.
I don't.
Okay?
It looks like inside your dog's ass it's growing. It's pretty big.
Okay.
This
Oh,
podcast
Jesus.
table,
Okay.
that fridge.
Guys, we only have a couple more questions left. So,
And look, yeah, I'm
Thank
yeah,
God.
I get
okay,
this.
the heaviest tomato ever recorded. What is the, and this one is not multiple choice, unfortunately. What is the heaviest tomato ever recorded? And I will give you within a pound.
Okay, Ted, you're first.
I'm not going to give any hints, Ted.
I'm
so-
gonna say 85 pounds.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Whoa.
How much? I didn't even hear
He
that.
said 85 pounds.
I mean, there's a lot of seeds. There's a lot of seeds there.
Ted,
Okay.
Ted, there's.
He
Okay.
said 85.
I don't know,
Okay,
whatever.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Scott, I can help you out.
Okay.
Lower.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna say maybe the heavy because they're thin-skinned, right? So they can't. They'll put on themselves. I'm gonna go with 11 pounds.
All right, Scott, the heaviest tomato ever grown.
7 pounds.
Oh, man, this is going to get ugly. 16.89 pounds.
Okay,
it was
wow.
grown by Dan Sutherland in Walla Walla, Washington.
So
Wow, never heard of that
Must
one.
have been good soil.
Wow. It
Yeah,
is.
never heard of-
The
never heard
massive
of
fruit
that.
was from the Domingo variety, and it measured 39 inches in circumference.
Oh, are they sure it was a tomato? Are you real sure?
Could have been a watermelon.
That's amazing.
sounds like a pumpkin.
That is the heaviest tomato ever. I mean,
I'll bet it was orange.
Technically, Scott wins again because I didn't go over and I was closest. under.
no.
Yes,
You can
yeah.
only win. I said within a pound.
Yeah.
You were
Okay,
nowhere
that's
near
true.
Sounds
within
like
a
a,
there
sounds
you
like a
go.
meteor.
That's right.
Sounds
You were
like a
close.
meteor landed in his field.
Okay, 2 questions left.
Oh,
The people of Greece eat the most tomatoes per person. How many pounds of tomatoes does the average Greek person eat in a year? Are you ready? Are you ready? 80 pounds, 90 pounds, 100 pounds, 150 pounds. 80, 90, 100, 150. And I just threw that in there. Yeah.
I'd say 150.
You know, I'm actually part Greek. I don't know any Greek people, but I do like tomato, slice or diced tomato on a gyro. I'm gonna say
there you
nine.
go.
I'm gonna say 90. I mean, I don't know how many tomatoes you can eat.
All right,
man.
Scott, we need you
Come
to
on,
hit
man.
this. We
Come
need
on,
you to
man.
hit this one.
I absolutely need to hit this. I'm saying 90 pounds.
100 pounds.
Oh,
Okay,
we're all
that's fine.
off again, man.
Oh, man. You guys were close. Okay. This is going to be the toughest one out of the bunch,
Oh,
but it's
it
going to
gets
be
worse.
multiple
Oh, it gets
choice.
worse.
It gets-
Last
it gets
question.
harder?
Cool.
Here we go. Which Academy Award winning actor starred in the 1988 movie Return of the Killer Tomatoes? And here is the synopsis of the movie.
I remember it.
Crazy old Professor Gangrene has developed a way to make tomatoes look human for the second invasion. Okay. Return of the Killer Tomatoes. Which Academy Award winning actor starred in this movie? George Clooney, Nicolas Cage, Adrian Brody, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Wow, those are all legit actors,
Oh,
too.
they're
And they all won the
Academy
Academy
Award.
Award. And they all won the Academy Award. Yeah,
Well,
so-
of course they would, because the question was which Academy Award winning actor
Yeah.
was in the 1988 movie Return, not the original, the second one. I think it's actually a third one. Return of the Killer Tomatoes.
1980?
1988.
88.
George Clooney, Nicolas Cage, Adrian Brody, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
So it's one of the actors when they were early in their career. They didn't know shit. They were just doing
They
anything.
got stuck in a movie called Return of the Killer Tomatoes.
And then later in their career, they got
Oh.
the Academy Award for something doing
All right,
something legit.
you're first.
I'm going to say Nick Cage.
Nick Cage, excellent choice.
I'm gonna say Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, excellent choice. All right, Scott, this is to tie. Come on, man. Come on, tell me. Wait, hold on a second. You've seen the movie, right? You've had to see all the Killer Tomato movies.
I have seen pieces of that movie. I've not seen the whole thing. Who were the first two?
George Clooney, Nicolas Cage, Adrian Brody, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Clooney.
Thank God. George Clooney. Yes. A very young George Clooney.
My God.
Yeah, a very young George Clooney starred
Yay.
in Return
I knew it was
of the
Adrian
Killer
Brody.
Tomatoes.
He's always in like those World War II
I don't
Nazi
even know who
movies.
Adrian Brody is.
He's in the movie The Pianist. He's always like
he won an Academy Award a
no,
couple
he's
years ago.
always like an Eastern European
did.
Jew who's being persecuted by the Nazis. So we knew it wasn't him. Yeah, so we knew it wasn't
Jesus.
Adrian Brody.
He's the weirdest concept of
I
how
knew
things
it wasn't
work.
him.
He's
All
got
right.
commentary.
Scott,
That's all
listen,
right.
thank you so much for being on. It was an absolute
Dude, that was
blast.
super fun.
Okay,
super
so-
fun.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And
man.
let's go through it. Fine Gardening is one of the websites. You have a Fine Gardening magazine that goes along with that, right?
Well, no, that's a very well. It's not mine. It's a very well respected magazine. I've done a lot with them through the years.
Oh, okay.
So that's why that's there, and we have lots of media, sort of outtakes on the website. But yeah, we've been very tight for a long time.
Okay, so-
but yeah, the website,
Yeah, Tomatomania
right?
is the website
Tomatomedia.com.
.com, and you also
Yeah,
have a
thanks.
book called Tomatomania.
I do.
And is
Yeah.
that thing? Is it just tomatoes? Is it recipes? What kind of stuff is in that?
Well, it absolutely has recipes. So it's a 200-page book. We talk about all this stuff we've talked about, and there's 25 recipes in the back. Absolutely.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, we just sort of republished. So I got the rights
Amazon.com.
years ago, and it's out there. What's that?
You can buy it on Amazon.
You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy the original one on Amazon. You can buy the newly republished and updated one on my website. It's not on Amazon.
Good man.
Yeah,
All right.
the Tomatomania website is absolutely unbelievable, man. It is it is really cool. I mean, every question you could possibly have, everything you could possibly want to know. I mean, it is really, really neat. All right, Scott, we wish you all the best. Take a rest. I know you're kind of ready to just do at-home stuff.
That is true.
All right, so enjoy the rest of your summer. Enjoy the tomatoes, and we'll catch up. I want to try to find some unique tomatoes to grow in the Chicago area. And I knew wait, hold on. You lived in Chicago for a while, right?
I lived in Evanston for a couple of years right after college. Absolutely.
Evanston.
Nice.
Okay,
Nice.
that's what I wanted to know.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to connect you with somebody in Chicago who's a pal of mine, and he's the tomato dude up there, and he can tell you where to find things sort of in your area. He's super cool. So I can get you to him.
Oh,
All right.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we'll share that. That'd be awesome. Thank you so much, man.
Love it.
Really
Love it.
appreciate you being on the show. And
It was super fun.
All
Go
right.
grow some tomatoes, guys.
oh, heck yeah. All right, take care, Scott.
All right, be well.
Yeah,
Nice
yeah.
meeting you,
Bye-bye.
Scott. Take
Take care,
care.
man. Take care, man.
Good
Thank
luck with those
you.
events.
Oh,
You got it.
man.
Thanks.
Dude, that is out. I love that, man. That is just out of control. That is just absolutely one of my. I love the concept.
tomatoes.
I just love a concept that there's a guy that into tomatoes, right?
So I bowled a tournament last week, and I got
Oh,
the
my God.
munchies. So I went to Bueno Beef, and I needed a Chicago dog. And it wasn't as good as a Portillo's, obviously, but I got it with everything and the sliced tomatoes.
Oh, you got to have sliced
You got
tomatoes.
to have sliced tomatoes, yeah.
I eat tomatoes all the time.
Yeah.
They're best when you
On
cut
salads,
them,
yep.
put them with a lot of salt and pepper, oregano, maybe a slice of mozzarella on
yeah.
there. You cut it up. Oh, that's good
Oh,
stuff.
well, you're
Yeah,
talking about.
what's that? Was a tomato on mozzarella cheese?
You're talking about bruschetta then.
Oh yeah, that's good. I mean, yeah.
Bruschetta's on a piece of toast. I'm talking about just right on
okay,
a plate, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, a little drizzle of.
Olive oil.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I actually wanted always a tomato on a grilled cheese. I don't think I've ever had that. on
Love
grilled cheese.
it. I
That's gotta be
literally was just spouting about that.
Tomato
that
soup,
I won't
grilled
make
cheese.
a tomato.
Yeah.
I won't make a grilled cheese without a
Yeah.
slice of tomatoes.
2 thick slices of tomato.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in
So-
Do you have a
just-
garden out back?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're growing tomatoes.
This is our first summer in our new place, and my wife and I are talking about a little garden here, a little
you
there,
go.
and I'm like, where are we going to put the tomatoes? I mean,
There you go.
it's like a staple.
That's what I mean. I
You
think.
need lots of sun and a tall fence.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the as advertised on TV? There's like a tomato thing they sell where it's like you don't grow it down, you grow it up. It's like it grows up. It's like as advertised on as seen on TV, but it's
All
like
tomatoes grow up, Ted.
Yeah.
You put them in the ground and they grow up.
Yeah, but this
Are you
one's
talking about
actually
the other way?
but this promotes it. It promotes it like there's like a stand
There's
or
so many
something.
weird
Yeah.
things. Like
Yeah.
you were talking about the vertical growing
the
and stuff
vertical,
like
yeah, it's
that.
vertical,
It's
Yeah, I don't think there's any one. I'm doing my research and I'm looking at things that make your tomato, like tomato cages and stuff.
Yeah.
It's all. I mean, these guys are built. Number one, when you get on YouTube and you put that on there, it's some jagoff who is spending hours and hours and hours building this thing that you're just like, number one, I can't build that.
Right.
There's no chance I could ever do that correctly.
Yeah.
And number two, I am never in my life going to put that much time into building a
Some
tomato
people have a
cage.
lot of time on their hands.
So my
They do.
big takeaway from this is like make sure you have the chicken wire coop because the squirrels can't get to it. I didn't know that. So I didn't think
yeah.
that was the thing. Yeah, so
Ted,
have the chicken wire coop around it.
If you kill all the squirrels in your yard, then you don't have a squirrel problem.
I'm all for that.
I tell you right now,
Well, it's like Robotron. They always keep coming. There's more. There's
Tell
always
you,
more.
I haven't seen a squirrel in about 2 weeks, and I popped 3.
Yeah.
3. About 2 weeks ago, I popped 3, and you know what? I string them up by their necks,
Yeah.
I hang them from the tree, and I put a little sign on them. This is you.
What do you like Apocalypse Now? You like the smell of napalm in the morning?
Does it work? Do they pay attention
I
to the
don't
thread?
actually do that. Are you
What?
kidding me? No,
Oh,
but I murder them. Yeah, I've killed 3 in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, squirrels.
And I don't want to hear any bullshit. I don't want to hear one goddamn. Don't send me any goddamn stuff.
They're a menace
about
to
squirrels.
society,
Yeah.
man. They really are.
Please,
A lot of them.
Please, I'm not interested in any listeners sending me things about how great squirrels are.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it.
They chew holes in my garbage can to get in there. I mean, they got like diamond-studded
I
teeth.
think that's raccoons, man. I think that's raccoons, man.
No, it's squirrels because you go in there and you open it up and they come popping out at you. You're like, holy
my
fuck, what the
God.
fuck? I put coop chicken wire over where the hole. They start drilling in another spot. I mean,
What the hell is going on in your neighborhood?
well, I don't keep my garbage cans are outside. They're not in my garage. They're outside the garage, and
but
I don't know what they just go.
you had your garbage cans inside your garage?
No, I said they're outside.
No,
my
but
garage.
before you did?
I used to do that when I was growing up.
Wouldn't
and
that make
stuff.
you smell?
Yeah, we used to keep them in my garage. Okay.
You talking about in Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's probably nothing, but I mean, you're probably just as worried about like people getting in there, right? Like little Michigan hillbillies trying to climb into your garbage and shit. Hey, Debbie, there's good shit in here. Come on.
Are there hillbillies in Michigan?
Yes, Ted.
okay.
Anywhere there's not a real town, a real city,
Okay.
there's hillbillies everywhere.
There's
okay,
they're
gotcha.
the hillbillies are outnumbered by the militia. The Michigan militia.
The Michigan militia. That's right.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. So,
Jesus
yeah. So.
Christ. Oh my God, I can't.
Oh God.
I cannot believe this. Okay, let's see. We're going to put this thing to bed, and so we're going to do What's on Your Mind. Okay, we got a sponsor. What's on Your Mind is sponsored by Nussbaum's Funeral Homes, now with 3 locations in the greater Milwaukee area. If you're tired of the same old funerals, try a Nussbaum-themed funeral and turn the sadness of a loved one passing into a life party. Nussbaum's Funeral Homes will let the increase after your family members. I don't even know what the fuck I wrote.
What are you talking about?
Jesus
Wait, that's not
Christ.
sponsor provided text to you. What are you doing over there?
I have no idea what I'm writing, but I'm just going to read it. Nussbaum's Funeral Homes will let the increase after your family members have deceased. I have no idea what I was trying to get at.
It kind of rhymes.
It does rhyme.
Increase and decrease. Oh, you win. All right.
But that's the end of
There's
You did it.
no
You did
way
it.
There's no way that word was increased. I know for sure. Okay. Every room has a dance floor, a bar, and free hors d'oeuvres for the first hour. And the DJ is complimentary. It's time to put the fun in your next funeral. Go to noosebombsfuneralhomes.com and get your dancing shoes out of the closet.
Okay, they want a refund because you butchered the shit
I
out
butchered
of their
the shit out of that.
message.
Whatever it was that I was supposed to type, I did not type. Yeah. I have no idea.
Actually, you know what would be funny? You know how you...
If I did it right?
No, but it would have
been really funny, Ted. I'm telling you right now, that was fucking
No, here's
hilarious.
kind of funny. You know how people crash weddings? You've seen the movie The Wedding Crashers. People crash weddings. They're not supposed to be there. What if you crashed What if you crashed a funeral and just went to the funeral? You didn't know the person, and you just cried uncontrollably.
You were just living,
and then just had somebody record it and put that shit on Instagram. I mean, that would actually be kind of fun. I mean, in a macabre way. See, that shit's funny.
No, you know, it'd be great.
I just found something new.
No, you walk in.
I just tapped into a new industry.
That was actually part of the Wedding Crashers movie, by the way.
Crash the funeral and cry uncontrollably over the body of whoever's deceased, and then people be like, "Who the fuck is that?"
No, you'll be great. Tell.
Who the fuck are you, man?
Whoa.
I'm just kidding. It's funny. Yeah.
Whoa. No, it'd be great to tell. Yeah, it'd be great to tell stories. It'd be great to tell stories about that guy or that girl, right? Because you just get a picture.
Well,
you just see the picture.
Eulogy, then you do the eulogy.
No. You just walk around and go, "Oh man, Dana. Wow, I'll tell you what. Whew, that time that she ran over those two dogs, and then when the lady came out, she spit on her and just drove away. She was crazy. And then people would be like, "What? Oh, she didn't tell you that?" Yeah, it's like, just make up crazy shit.
The way she could shoplift at a convenience store was just amazing.
John.
You just call out the product, and she'd walk out 5 minutes. You give her 5 minutes, and bam, she'd walk out with it. One time, vacuum cleaner, and she walked out with a goddamn vacuum.
And it was under her skirt.
No one ever saw it.
So I remember
no one saw the vacuum cleaner.
So one day, me and John were in Tijuana back in the 1980s. They weren't prostitutes, but we did pay for them. So you can draw your own conclusions.
So when he says he's never paid for sex, yes, he has. All right.
Called marriage.
Yeah. Okay. Scott, what is on your mind?
A lot of things these days. So I don't know. Here in America, we just had a big weekend. It's called Memorial Day weekend. Everyone gets Monday off. That's
the big play, by the way.
That's to honor those who have served in our military and given the oath to sacrifice and reflect on that. But most of us use it for a reason to party or play sports or do other stuff. We went up to our house in northern Michigan on a lake, and my parents were there. My 4 kids came. 3 of them, one's married, 2 are engaged, so they brought their fiancés with them, and my brother was there. And I don't know. There's nothing to me more like just cool than hanging out with your adult children. We played golf. Every time I'm with them, I learn a new drinking game. And we have so much fun. And I love watching them interact with each other, talk to my parents. They'll have good jobs. I know I'm so lucky in this, so I don't want to make it all about me, but that's on my mind. I mean, I just driving back from Michigan. It's about a 5-hour drive, and my wife and I were just the whole time talking about how lucky we are to have what we have, and just realizing it could all change. They could start moving away and doing whatever they're going to do. But this moment in time right now was just, that weekend was really cool. The weather sucked, but we still got a couple rounds in, and we did our fun things and stuff. But my 4 kids, and they're 25, 28, 29, and 32. So you see what they are, who they are, what they've become, and I just took a minute to just really soak that in. So that's been sitting on my mind. Then I come back to work, and there's all this bullshit going on, and it's just like, and so, Well,
that's the thing that gets you through it, though, right? That good that good stuff. Like when you're sitting there, and and that stuff is just piling on you, right? Because work piles on you. Right?
Every day piles on.
And especially when you're trying as hard as you can to get fired. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. But all that stuff, and then you just remember, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Right? Shit's going to happen.
Yep.
And you're going to move on, right? It could go really bad. Who knows? That thing that something could end and something could start, right? So there's always opportunities. But yeah, it's nice to have that feeling that you got a great family and you get to be part of that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. All right, Ted, what is on your mind?
This might sound not politically correct, but I
Oh my God! Stop it!
Kid. I just have one kid,
Oh,
and
Jesus
you have 4, and you have 2, and the bottom line is you want your kids to be a better version of you. So when you see your kids doing better than you at that stage of their life, it's like you're very proud of that. It's like, wow, I didn't realize my kid could do that, and that's pretty fucking cool.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
I 100%.
So I need to have more kids because you guys got
Jesus.
me beat.
Yeah. Ted, it's too late.
All right.
Don't be 55-year-old guy with a baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who said I'm paying child support?
You can see that over. You can see that over at field school every day.
Yeah.
55-year-old guys
Jealous
with
of that, yeah.
with an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah.
What's going on?
That's called they made bad decisions.
That is a mess. Okay. Here's what's on my mind. For all of our listeners who eat Taco Bell, you might be getting overcharged. Okay. Ooh. And you would never know it. But fortunately for all of us, the biggest dork in the world has spent the last few weeks, in his words, trekking from Taco Bell to Taco Bell in the greater New York area, ordering various things and comparing prices.
Right, because they have a set menu, right? So
Right.
you know.
Right. Here's the thing. I can't imagine the typical Taco Bell eater gives a flying fuck that they are getting charged more or less because, in all honesty, all they are is high or drunk, and they just want their food that they will get to regret later. Okay?
I've been there.
And
that.
you can spend $10 and get a meal for a family.
I don't think so anymore. Have you been to Taco Bell recently?
I have not eaten at
I
Taco
don't think
Bell
you could
in
feed-
years.
Yeah, I don't think you could feed a family
right down the
from-
street.
Yeah.
I don't eat it.
Yeah, I don't think you could feed a family for $10 at Taco Bell. And by the way, if you love your family, you wouldn't feed
I
them
remember
Taco
going there
Bell.
stoned to the bejesus, and I'd order the taco supreme, a couple soft tacos, and this,
yeah.
and it would be $9.25.
So,
Well, okay, if that was forever ago, you know what it is now? It's $39.
No shit.
no, actually,
Oh, my God.
honestly, I did have the munchies a couple of weeks ago, and you go to this Taco Bell
knew it.
and got a bean burrito, a steak burrito supreme, and some soft taco supremes, and honestly, I think I paid about $18-20, and honestly,
shit.
yeah, it wasn't that bad. But you know what? When you're hungry, you don't care. You just want
See?
the food.
That's what I'm saying.
And it tastes so good,
Don't
too.
get them out and do Baja Blast or that stupid shit or the chips, but you just get the tacos. Just get the burritos.
And
Did you eat it in your car?
Oh, hell yeah.
Maybe like one of them.
Hell no. You didn't
Did you?
wait.
Come on.
That's
Did
called
you,
multitasking.
did you go? You went through the drive-thru.
Yeah.
You went through the drive-thru.
Yeah.
Did you pull off in the parking lot and eat all that stuff? Just and
No,
say
I
it.
just said it while I was driving down Milwaukee Avenue.
Hell yeah. Hell
so,
yeah.
so you were fucked up. You stopped at Taco Bell and you were eating as you were driving while you were drinking.
Fuck yeah.
When
Well,
you drank.
I was posting it on Instagram, by the way. I'm just kidding.
And then the next day you go to your car and you got little tomato chunks in your chair.
It's funny because you don't remember. Because you don't
Little shredded
you don't-
cheese
no, you
on
don't-
the floor.
You don't remember.
Yeah.
You don't remember what you ate.
Would you think you would notice in Ted's car?
No,
You don't honestly think in
I've not
Ted's
been
car-
inside Ted's car.
You know what's weird? You don't remember what you
I don't
ate.
think there's room for me in it,
Yeah.
first of all.
Yeah.
You don't remember what you ate. Then you go out there like I didn't eat anything last night. And you go like, oh, there's the tomato piece.
So you
I
open
knew
the
it.
door
I
and you
knew
sit
it.
down and you go like this. Oh shit! I had Taco Bell.
No, because the Taco Bell bag is on the passenger seat floorboards.
My God, you know what? That would actually make me feel worse than if I got drunk and ran somebody over and killed them. Like the next day, I would wake up and I'd be like, two things. I'd be like, wake up, I go, oh man, I think I ran somebody.
No, you know how
over.
you're messed up?
But fuck it, they shouldn't have been up at 2:00 in the morning. Or
Why were
oh,
they in the middle
shit,
of the road?
When you like
I
the
had
mild, when you like the
7 Taco Bell tacos.
when you like the mild sauce, when you actually put the mild sauce they give you because they want sauce. I'm like, yes, give me the mild sauce. And you actually squirt it
Oh,
on.
I don't do that
the
stuff.
taco.
while you're driving. Jesus Christ, Ted.
It's called multitasking.
Jesus
Sure is.
Christ
So what was the
almighty.
net? The prices are up and down. It just doesn't matter. They charge whatever the fuck they want. This is a little science study this
Oh yeah,
guy
that's
did.
his little study found out that there's no consistency whatsoever.
Who cares? Taco Bell's the best.
Yeah, I was more freaked out by
Love
the
Taco
fact
Bell.
that he spent a couple of weeks doing this. A couple of weeks,
You know, no,
and
yeah.
I'm not even going to give him credit for doing it. I'm not going to say his little moniker
Yeah.
because I think it's so wrong. I'd like him to stop.
No, you know why he did it?
Yeah, I do know why he did.
Because they had a blowjob in 20 years. That's why he did it. Because he has a lot of free time on his hands. That's why he did it. The only reason guys do stupid shit that are obscure is because they haven't had a blowjob in 20 years.
So that's
I'm
his
late, yeah.
replacement.
That's his replacement for the blowjob. Yeah, this is blowjob replacement.
It sounds like
Yeah.
a future guest.
That's
on
a real
Three
thing.
Idiots.
I can't.
That's a real thing.
So that's the first thing I thought of. That's like hey, what was your motivation to really do it? You really like Taco Bell, and And I thought, wow, there's no way I would
First of all, he'd come on the show stoned to the bejesus, and he would just be rambling, and we would just be laughing our
I couldn't get a
asses off.
passport to Thailand or the Philippines. That's why I did it. That's what it is.
Jesus Christ!
I'm
You
just
put
being-
a couple of
I'm being
drinks in
honest.
you, and everything is
true.
like some Asian country.
But it's true. It's true.
God, I don't think you know what I think. A majority of the people who don't live in Thailand are not going to go to Thailand. I just feel like
I'm not going to Thailand either. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you pray for it every day.
No, I don't.
You talk a lot about it.
You definitely, Ted. You have not gone a day that I have. A day in the last month that I have talked to you that you haven't mentioned Thailand.
I haven't left my block in like 20 years.
Doesn't matter. It's what you talk about. It's like what you yearn for. If I win the lottery, you know where I'm going? Taco Bell?
No, I'm
Thailand.
No, I'm not going there.
That and,
Taco Bell.
that and scat porn.
Yep.
Taco Bell.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why are you doing this? We're trying to put this thing to bed, man.
Just encourage him, man.
No. Let's discourage Ted. Okay. Wow, that was a blast. Okay, so we've got some cool guests coming up. Got some things coming up. I didn't put it down yet. Most everything is kind of still up in the air. But here's what I'll say: love talking to our guests. Love hearing from you guys. So if you want to berate me for the squirrels, go ahead. Whatever you want to do. But keep listening, keep enjoying, and we'll catch you guys next time.
All right.
Oh, no